Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful and we're beautiful and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the Spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
Ladies and gentlemen, however much you may think that you hate the media and journalists, and especially games journalists, it's not enough. It really isn't enough. As company after company goes through mass layoffs, goes through a restructuring, Ubisoft very recently discovering that their DEI initiatives have ultimately sunk the company with terrible hiring practices, with a culture at these places that are no longer conducive to creating healthy, dynamic, interesting games that are basically just HR sessions. Everywhere you look, companies are going under and selling IPs, and it's an apocalypse out there, and especially for games journalists. Back in 2013, 2014, it seems like games journalists had all the power. And they were using it to go after gamers, to shit on gamers. Gamers are over. You remember article after article after article about how gaming culture is done. Gamers are toxic. Gamers are bad. In lockstep, in uniform. And where are they now? Most of them are unemployed. Most of the outlets are either gone or don't have a fraction of the power that they once did. But PC Gamer decided, you know what? We're going to go down with the ship. We're not going to try to course correct. We're not going to try to fix anything. We're going to go down with the ship. And so they put out this article. And I'm going to pull it up right now if I can get my system working. And here we go. If you've noticed, the world of Inzoi is eerily heterosexual. Let me repeat that for you, because your brain may have just shut down for a moment at how absolutely stunningly retarded that was. If you've noticed, the world of Inzoi is eerily heterosexual. Don't fret. The distinct lack of gay Zoes is a known issue. Let me read that one more time. If you've noticed, the world of Inzoi is eerily heterosexual. What type of, I am trying to envision and imagine the type of person that would write an article like this. Let's see if there's a name. Justin Wagner. Do you have your socials? Do you have your socials on here? I want to see what you look like. I want to see what you look like. Because it's hard for me to believe that somebody like this actually genuinely exists. Players were left scratching their heads for a bit, but Enjoy Studio has acknowledged the void where same-sex relationships should be. Well, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. Let me give you my hot take on this. The only normal and acceptable sexuality is heterosexuality. I know, crazy. Especially as a content creator, especially on the internet, I can't say that. I have to affirm all the other deviancies and degeneracies and malformed ideas. You have to accept and embrace them all. They're all normal. No, they're not. They're abnormal. They're abnormal. The only normal sexuality is heterosexuality. And so the article should be, in most normal decision ever, World of Enzoi, I don't know if the World of Enzoi, I don't know if that's the name. I've never played this game. Enzoi only has heterosexual relationships in most normal decision ever. That should be the headline. Most normal decision ever. It would be eerie. It would be eerie if they added in gay and lesbian and bisexual options. That's what would be eerie. Am I going crazy here? Like, you put out an article saying that it's very odd that almost only heterosexuality is in here. Well, I did respond. I said, eerily, what intern degenerate freak did you fish out of the gutter to write that slot tier headline? Heterosexuality is normal. It's the only sexuality that is normal. At least I'm consistent. That's what I believe. Now, some people may disagree with that. You've been indoctrinated on the internet to say, well, no, homosexuality, hey, being gay is normal. Being bi is normal. No, it's not. Never has been, never will be. But this article, being written the way it is, how do you think that people reacted to this? Oh, you can look at the fact that they've been ratioed to oblivion. But you have company after company after company that's going under, that's laying people off, and these freaks that are so diehard in this cult, they refuse, even for the sake of themselves and their fellow workers, to try to do something different to keep their brands relevant and interesting and to generate a fan base that is interested in what they have to say rather than rage baiting to get attention, because we've seen that rage baiting only gets you so far. This is an embarrassing headline. This is an embarrassing mentality. You know that the majority of gamers, while they may not be against homosexuality, I am, but I don't claim to speak for all gamers. But at the bare minimum, to call heterosexuality eerie, well, it's eerily heterosexual. What? That is mental illness that you have, your degeneracy, your filth, and you're wrapping it up in PC Gamer, and you're wrapping it up in this game, and you're presenting it to people, and it smells like shit. And it's like, oh my God, I'm not consuming that. So you not only hurt your own reputation, Jason Wagner, you hurt PC Gamer's reputation, you hurt the game's reputation, not really, but I would have said that it's a mark for the game company that they're eerily heterosexual. But if the game company folds and starts adding same-sex options, it's just a massive L. And I don't really put any faith in these companies to do the right thing. But here's what it is. Games journalists are no longer fit for purpose. And I think the sooner that we acknowledge the fact that these people are the last vestiges of an old, dying system, the better. Because there's something wrong with these people and what they believe. There is. It's not normal to believe what they believe and how they believe it and how they present it. It's not normal when you're watching your industry go down in flames and there's layoff after layoff after layoff after layoff, and people within the industry are terrified of AI, and there's competition now. I mean, there's competition more than ever because some upstart can make like 100 articles a day with AI. Some upstart, some individual can do the job of 10, 20 people at these companies. They're no longer fit for purpose. And yet you're still writing pig slop like this that the majority of gamers are going to look very wearily at, if I can speak. They're going to look very wearily at this, like, oh my God, this again. Even if they agree that the game should have homosexual options, I think that's gross. But even if they think that, they're going to be weary of your eerily added in there because it's pig slop. It's you adding in a word for attention to get some buzz because you know that nobody gives a shit otherwise. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about PC Gamer. And instead of doing the hard work required to build a reputation, to build trust, you would rather go for rage bait bullshit. And so that's where we're at. You know, I don't have a huge audience, but I've started, from the bottom. And when I say from the bottom, I had 0 subscribers when I started this channel. 0. I built it up one at a time. I didn't have a network. I didn't have a group of people that I was collabing with. Like, oh, some channel with 25 million people brought me up. No. I scratched and clawed and got my way to over 16,200 subscribers, which is insane. For me, that is absolutely nuts. I did that by being honest, being unapologetic, and not trying to rage bait people, but to just tell them what I actually think, to give them the truth. And sometimes it makes people mad, sometimes it makes people happy. But at the end of the day, I'm true to myself. These people are not true to themselves. They're not. They're not true to their brand. They're not true to their fellow worker. They're not willing to adapt to do what it took. If there were other people involved with this, would I continue doing what he's doing? No. It's a selfishness. It's why if I'm working for a brand, I don't go up to customers and give them my opinions on, I really like Donald Trump. No, because I'm being a professional. This person is working for a brand. His name is on that article, and it makes them look bad. And that's the current state of things. These people will write something like this because they're in a cult. They're in a deranged, anti-human sex cult that we're calling wokeness or DEI. But this is something that informs everything about themselves. Their identity is everything. So for this guy, it's eerie. No, it's eerie if you put that degenerate shit into the game. That's my opinion. It's eerie if you put that stuff in. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a shorter video. Because, God, who wants to give these people any more time of day? They are more irrelevant than they've ever been. They are more sad and pathetic and desperate than they've ever been. And this is the type of garbage that we're being fed. If you've noticed, the world of Inzoi is eerily heterosexual. Eerily heterosexual. Yellow Flash, when you guys go out of business, gamers are going to celebrate. You're absolutely right. Eerily heterosexual. People notice this, and guess what? They hate you. They despise you even more. And really what you should be doing is extending an olive branch. What you really should be doing is doing everything you can to rehabilitate your image that you've damaged over the last 10 years. But no, you're going to double down. You're going to go down with the ship. You're going to sink your brand, just like all these others. You're going to go the way of Gawker eventually, and you only have yourselves to blame. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See you next time.